Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we are looking at a beer that was sent to me by Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. He sent this beer to me saying, hey, this kind of looks like you, and it kind of does before I shaved. This is Mile High Mountain Ale. There it is. Kind of looks like me. Mile High Mountain Ale by the Vancouver Island Brewery. I do believe that is the brewery that the co-owner of Muskoka just went out and bought. I don't remember for sure. This is 5.9% alcohol. It says it's a mountain ale, so I don't even know what the fuck it's going to be. I'm going to guess something like an amber. That's going to be my guess. Horrible bottle opener, but it works better than some of the things out there. So I mean, I guess I shouldn't say horrible, just not good, not to my love. So thank you very much, Steve, for sending this beer out. Whether we like it or we don't like it, it's just great to get to try things. I do wish that Vancouver, well, I wish BC in general did more cans and more smaller bottles, because I love getting beers from BC. I don't like the people sending me beers having to pay as much money for shipping and purchasing as they are, because they aren't a province that seems to can as much or use the smaller bottles as much. So these take up a lot more room, take up a lot more weight, and take up a lot more money. These are actually probably the worst consumer size for value for your money as a consumer. But hey, it's great that a brewery's bottling anyway. So yeah, beautiful color. Tiniest bit of haze, beautiful amber color. Big head, off-white. The bubbles are popping a little bit. There's a tiny bit of a snap, crackle, pop. That's a nice looking beer, though. Visually, I find that beer very appealing, especially in the Innocent Gun glass. Looks very nice. Looks very nice. Now, I don't think I'm going to get much scent out of all this head, but we do have the bottle, so let's try the glass first. Okay, I'm unaware of what type of hops or anything are in this, and I can't really read anything here on here. Hop for Northwest style red ale. Okay, so I was right, kind of an amber. That's really all it says. It does try and give you some tasting notes. I normally find that tasting notes don't agree with me, so whatever. But it's coming off with that almost American IPA scent, but the American IPA scent that I dislike. Can you stop chewing on your groin while I'm doing this? All I can hear is you going, "Arr, arr." Stop chewing your groin. Yeah, it has that. It has a little bit of that molasses and caramel, but it has that syrupy sweetness that some IPAs come off with. Almost a Centennial like syrupiness. You know, that almost like pine oil syrupiness. Okay, let's try the beer. Cheers. That is extremely thin, much like the air at the top of a mountain. So I guess the mountain high, mile high name works, because this is a pretty fucking thin beer. Very thin, earthy and dirty on the back end, much like a mud pie. Very English-esque, very red ale red ale. Yeah, it works for a red ale. Forefront, creamy, malty, and caramel and molasses. Again, your usual red ale flavors. Your middle is where you get a little bit of that hoppiness. Now, I don't know if the hoppiness has faded. I mean, he did send this to me about a month and a half ago. I don't know how old it was once he picked it up. I did sit on it for a little while. I couldn't really read the ABV. I don't have glasses that work because I'm blind, not just visually impaired. Well, I'm visually impaired, not fully blind. I'm legally blind, but my eyes just, I need a magnifying glass more than glasses, and I didn't have anything, so I couldn't see the ABV, so I just didn't touch it because I didn't want to get too drunk. I was worried it was going to be like a 9% ABV beer and it's 650. I'm like, you know what? Don't really care to get into that right now. But easy drinking. The hoppiness is where I don't like it. It has that that just syrupy hop tea-like taste. For those of you that don't know, the greatest way to figure out what hops taste like is to go to a homebrew shop, buy some hops, and throw them in a tea. And there is this like syrupy sweet taste that some hops give off that this is reminding me of. I did think at the original onset that this might have been Centennial because it did have that hop, that like pine oil smell, but it's not really resiny. It's just sweet with a tiny touch of bitter. So I can't really tell you what it is because I'm pretty sure it's faded really, really, really badly, or that the beer's just so thin that I can't really differentiate the different palate cleansing. See, I'm just making up words now. Basically, it's either faded too much that I can't taste it, or the beer is just so thin that I can't actually pinpoint its flavors. But which exact hop it is, it doesn't matter. I just was curious for my own curiosities. Curious for my own curiosities. Yeah, that doesn't make sense either, but that's just the way it is tonight. Is this a good beer? I don't mind it. Is it a beer I would go out and find again? Probably not. Is it a beer that offends me in any way, or is something that I would give under a 5, under a passing grade? No, not at all. It's just not something that I'm really into. Like, I could see drinking a pint of that. It kind of reminds me... You know what it reminds me of? Here's exactly what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a slightly watered-down Rickard's Red IPA. The new Red series, their Red IPA. This reminds me of that, but watered down. Not much of a hop presence, not much of a body, not much of anything like that. But a lot of the same flavors. So is it a bad beer? No. Is it a beer I really care about? No. What would I give it out of 10? Probably a 6 out of 10. It's fine. It's acceptable. It's just that. And I mean, that's what you want. You want fine, acceptable beer sometimes. You don't always want the most in-your-face things to just blow you away. So thank you very much, Steve, for sending this out. I love the look of it. Just wish the taste and the smell would work up to the label and the visual appeal. Is it a good beer? For me, again, it's acceptable. You try it, you tell me what you think. I'd love to know what you think because, you know, tastes are different, tastes are subjective. I like knowing what people think and why. Don't just come on here with the, I love it, you fucking idiot. Tell me what you love about it. Then you can call me a fucking idiot. As long as you start the conversation with something constructive, call me a fucking idiot. I don't care. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Au revoir. Au bientôt. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you again, Steve. Gonna drink the rest of this as I watch some Sopranos. I'm on the last episode of Season 2. Bye, guys.